What's up guys, it's Diamond from Martial Club, and today I want to talk about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Finally saw it. I know I'm like super late to the party. I'm probably the last person on planet Earth who's seen this movie. But I do have a lot of thoughts and I want to share them with you. And now I know when you guys think Star Wars fans, Martial Club probably doesn't make the top 10 on your list, but I did grow up with Star Wars in a time neatly nestled between the first trilogy and the second trilogy. I actually got to see The Empire Strikes Back in theater because they brought the original movies back to the theater for the special edition. And then shortly after that, episodes 1, 2, and 3 came to theaters. And I had my fair share of action figures and toy lightsabers, so yes, I am a fan. Not a diehard by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, it's not completely new to me. But let's be real, the true reason why anyone on Martial Club would want to see Star Wars is obvious, right? Man. Donnie, I want to wish you all the best. I'm really happy to see what's happening. Your fame is increasing in Hong Kong and throughout the world, and I wish you the best in all of your efforts. Keep going, man. You're doing great. But yeah, let's talk about Donnie Yen in Star Wars. I was really excited to hear that he was getting his chance to be in the American mainstream. But I did have a little bit of reservations. I mean, like, let's be real. We saw what happened to Jet Li in The Expendables. He was demoted to not even, like, short round status, right? So I was a little worried that that was going to happen to Donnie in this movie, but I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that that wasn't the case. You know, I saw this movie, and they actually gave Donnie Yen a really cool role. I mean, he had great lines, he had great action, and they just overall treated his character with a lot of respect and dignity, and I'm thinking, about damn time, right? Right? Donnie Yen, he plays this blind monk character. Now, I understand, I heard from a couple people that they thought his role was a little fortune cookie-esque, and I guess you can argue that, but the way I see it is, like, he was basically playing a Shaolin monk in the Star Wars universe, and that's not a bad thing. Donnie Yen's never actually played that kind of a role in his movies, and it was a refreshing change of pace for us, and I'm sure it was for him too. That little mantra he recites, I am one with the Force and the Force is with me, he chants it over and over again, just like a monk would. But I think that's actually really significant to the movie. Let me talk about the action. Yeah, so usually there's way too many cuts, it's way too jittery, way too shaky. But what I really like about this movie is that when the action really started going in Donnie's opening scene, they allowed the camera to pull back and just let Donnie do his thing. Finally, do more of that. Let the masters do their work, and it'll work better for you, I swear. I swear, just please. Let me talk a little bit about the movie and what I thought of it. First off, I think this is the first Star Wars movie that's charged with affirmative action, right? All the principal cast members were a departure from the typical white male hero archetype, and I really thought that was a breath of fresh air. I mean, you have a white main character, but she's a girl, and then you have, like, you know, the black guerrilla leader, and then you have an Arab pilot, you have a Mexican assassin, and you have two Asian characters in the principal cast. What is this? Like, the world must be ending or something, right? And I thought it was interesting what they did with them. There are two Asian characters, but they seem to be two halves of one character. It's kind of like a yin and yang thing going here. Donnie Yen plays a very zen, kind of peaceful person. He doesn't even use guns in the movie. Or blasters, sorry. They don't have guns in the Star Wars universe, they have blasters. But he doesn't use blasters, he's blind, so he uses his senses and the guidance of the Force in order to get around. And then you have his counterpart who's like heavy artillery, and he doesn't really believe in the Force at all. So one is completely spiritual, one is completely secular, one is completely, you know, melee weapons, and one is completely artillery, but together they come together and they round off each other's rough edges. And I think that's actually the main theme of the movie. All of Rogue One, if you will, is a cast of broken characters. Each one starts out incomplete, and they go through the story to find their completion, and I really like that. And what I like about this movie is that it's neat, complete, it stands on its own, not in terms of plot, but in terms of character development. I'll just talk about Donnie because I don't want to spoil too much. Whereas all the rest of the principal cast members are incomplete emotionally, Donnie Yen is incomplete physically. He's blind. He has to rely on somebody else and the Force to get around. But what makes him different is that he's complete spiritually. You know, he is one with the Force and the Force is with him, and he offers that kind of spiritual guidance for the rest of the cast. And arguably, a lot of them are able to complete their character arcs because of his wisdom. And I really thought that was a cool way for him to be featured in an American movie. It does him justice, and I think it's significant, you know. That's what I like about the movie. It's a one and done type of deal. It's not an episode, so all the characters reach the completion of their character arcs by the end of the movie, whereas characters from the other episodes like Luke, like Rey, like Anakin Skywalker, you know, like you have to watch several episodes in order to see their complete journey from, you know, young Wing to refined character. And this one's a lot more concise as far as that goes. Plot-wise, obviously it's a cliffhanger ending, spoiler alert, but you know, it basically picks up right where New Hope begins. So, but that's actually a good thing because this movie kind of bridges gaps and fills in holes that some people might have been able to pick out from the other Star Wars films. So I think it's definitely worth the watch. It's a refreshing take on Star Wars lore. It's really got that world-building element and aspect to it, and that world-building aspect is necessary not only to establish franchises, but to revive franchises. And obviously Star Wars is one of our most established franchises ever. So I think what this movie succeeds in doing is it makes an old thing seem new, and that's what we need. Well, I've talked a lot. I want to hear your thoughts. What did you guys think about the movie? Specifically, what did you think about Donnie Yen's role? And do you think he's got any other big opportunities on the horizon? Talk about that in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys think. Well, guys, it's been cool. Once again, my name is Daniel Ma from Marshall Club. I want to wish you guys, on behalf of Marshall Club, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. I also want to take this chance to thank you guys for watching us all throughout the year. And I want to invite you guys to watch a whole bunch more next year. We've got a lot of stuff coming. We're actually going to start upping the consistency of our videos, so you'll be seeing a lot more of us this coming year. Stay tuned. Once again, if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and if you guys like these shirts, be sure to check these out. They're on sale at bigcartel.com. And once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, everybody. Marshall Club, out. The rebel soldiers are like, ah, pew, 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 and then Darth Vader's like, meow, meow, meow. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.